Welcome to this week's edition of Coach Prep. Coach Don and I are getting together to record episode number 150 of Coach Prep. We're going to talk about the quote-unquote problem player or problem parent, potentially, depending upon how you frame this situation. Before we get into that, let's talk about our sponsors. First, the Anderson Bat Company.
Everything Fast Pitch is very proud to have Anderson Bat Company as our presenting sponsor. Anderson Bat Company is using the latest and greatest bat technology to corner the market in the fast pitch world. They have the -9 Rocket Tech, the -10 Carbon, and the -11 Carbon Light. Anderson Bat Company is using this technology to put a high-performing bat in the hands of hitters that really know the difference between a good bat and a great bat. We're also working with Anderson to provide a discount for all of our listeners. Go to the Anderson Bat Company website and order your bats. Use the EFP20 discount, which is for everything fast pitch, and you'll get a 20% discount. It's a great way for you to save a little bit of money on a great bat and also help support everything fast pitch at the same time.
And let's talk about patreon.com/everythingfastpitch. I want to say thank you to Kevin Hammond. Kevin, you are our newest patron. And all of our patrons that have been supporting us, we've added 5 or 6 new patrons here in the last couple of weeks. We certainly do appreciate them. And all of you that have been supporting us. The reality of it is we need to add a bunch more people if we're going to keep this thing moving for very much longer. So if you see value in what we're doing, come on board, become a patron. Go to patreon.com/everythingfastpitch and help however much you can. So Don, we've all been there. We have a player on our roster, on our team, that is a problem. But the problem isn't necessarily just the player herself, but it's the way her attitude and the way she interacts with the team. Basically, we've all seen this happen where a kid is playing ball. She's on a team, but maybe it's not what she really wants to be doing. Maybe she's kind of lost interest. Maybe she never really was that interested to begin with, and her parents just kind of flat out said, hey, you're going out for softball. We're going to sign you up for the team. And the players' attitude throughout the whole thing is an issue for the coaches and players that are on the team that maybe want to be there a little bit more than they do.
Yeah, Tori, I know that's kind of a difficult situation because you want to create an environment that's good for those that do really want to be there and that are interested in, the workouts, the extra time spent, the skill development and all those things. And when there's somebody that's just putting in time and the body language, you can definitely feel it, and it kind of rubs off on everybody in some way or form. And, that's one of those interesting situations that some type of intervention between the coaches, parents, and kid needs to happen at some point to salvage the environment for those that are excited to be there and or to maybe encourage or help that player to benefit as much as possible from the opportunity that's being shared with them by their parents and with the coaches, because a few good experiences and positive results can maybe inspire that player too to get a little bit more excited about being a part of it.
Yeah, well, because here's what I can share with all of our listeners. Having somebody involved that doesn't want to be there, that's not interested in it, that is just not doing it for the reasons we would normally expect, is a total downer for everybody involved. I have a kid right now in lessons, and I've worked with her now probably 7 or 8 times. And her level of involvement ranges from, I absolutely don't want to be here, to I absolutely don't want to be here. I'm going to make sure everybody knows I don't want to be here, to I absolutely don't want to be here, and I'm going to do everything I can to make you so mad that you'll throw me out so I don't have to be here.
I've been there and done that. I've seen it too. Yeah.
And nothing in that has ever once said to me, hey, I really want to be here. I really want to learn something. I want to get better. Everything about it is, I have to be here. I'm going to make it as miserable for everybody involved as I possibly can. So I picture that on a team setting. I just cannot imagine anything being more damaging, less fun, and less productive. So Don, I think you hit the nail on the head. And again, now a lot of this is going to depend on what level we're coaching at. If you signed up to coach, the most fundamental rec league team,
right,
because your kid's at that level, you're going to have a lot of kids playing at that level who don't even know for sure whether softball is something they really want to do or not. So you're going to have a whole lot of situations where mom and dad signed you up because softball might be what you want to do, but they might sign that same kid up for basketball and volleyball and swimming and cheerleading and everything else until something clicks.
Yeah.
So you're always going to have that opportunity to make impression, maybe convert a player, and get them more interested or more excited. But I think it's up to us as the adults in the room to have that first conversation. So, with my situation with the student that really doesn't want to be here and is making it as obvious as they possibly can, is after like the second lesson, I sat down with parents and told them, here's my impression, and they basically said, yeah, we know she doesn't really want to be here, but we really want her to do this, and we're going to just have to write it out.
Yeah.
And okay, so I guess that means we're just going to have to write it out. Now, I'm going to tell you, I make enough money doing what I do, stubborn enough and willing enough to invest a little bit of extra time and effort to see if I can't be the person that does turn this around for this player. But it is a load. If you are that coach that's dealing with a player that doesn't want to be there, that wishes they were doing something other than softball most of the time that you spend with them, make it your mission to do everything you can to light the fire, to change their attitude, to be the spark that gets them to start to love the game more or like the game enough that they at least enjoy being there, and make that your goal. Go into it with that as your goal. And then, for however long the season is, if it's 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever it is. And then once the season's done, then I think for you, from a coaching perspective, it's okay to tell that player and parent, hey, I've done my bit. I've done my part. I've contributed to this operation as much as I can. And if you're not going to contribute something back, then I think you need to go someplace else. That's my thought. And I think that if we go at it from a coaching perspective of, can I be the one that's going to figure out the magic word, the thing that's going to light that fire, then that's got to be your motivation.
And I was going to say too, and I think that you're exactly right. And if you put forth all that effort and it doesn't change or get better, that that's time to help them create a change. But I totally appreciate when parents feel like that's something that's going to be good for them, because we don't know the whole backstory on all the things leading up to that time. And sometimes I feel like the kids that act that way, it's almost like a defense mechanism in case things don't go well.
Right.
In case things go bad, I didn't really want to be here anyway. So if we can create some little successes at training and maybe some, a bust out game or opportunity in a live game, that maybe we can pull them in and get them a little more excited, and, not really knowing all the things leading up to them getting to us, might have a little bit to do with it too. But it's fun when they enjoy it, when they look at you and smile and they start doing better. And not just the kids that don't show interest, but all these kids, when they light up over softball, it makes it all worth it.
Oh, no doubt. And I think that, again, from a coaching perspective, the reason we all get into coaching is we want to help kids get better. We want to help them improve. I think there are some people that do it just because they like the glory of saying, hey, I won a championship, or I won a league, or whatever, whatever that might be. But for the vast majority of coaches, it's seeing that, spark, seeing that light in a player's eyes that says, hey, I made a difference. This player loves this game now. This player enjoys this game now. And if we can be part of that solution, I think that's a great place to start. I know it's not an easy thing to do, because in my situation, I've got 5 or 6 like little challenge games and fun things, that are almost always ironclad. The first time that a player actually has fun with softball is when they do the snow cone drill, or they do the target shooting drill, or they do something. They hit the disc, it flies straight and it hits the back of the cage and rolls back. Those kinds of things have always worked in the past. None of them have worked yet, but I'm going to keep trying until we get to the end of this season. If it continues to be the half hour on my schedule that I look at and go, oh my gosh, I can't, what am I going to come up with here? Can I do this again? When it gets to the point where I can't do anything else, then I'm going to ask that they try somebody else. But until then, I'm going to keep grinding on it, and I hope that's what our coaches will do too.
For sure. That's a good topic today.
All right, so that's going to wrap up episode number 150 of Coach Prep. Please make sure you support our sponsors, the Anderson Bat Company. Make sure you use that EFP20 discount. It's a great way for you to save a little bit extra money on a great bat and also help us at the same time. Go to patreon.com/everythingfastpitch. Please become a patron. We really do need your help. We want to keep this thing moving. We want to keep it going. But the only way that's going to happen is if we can add a bunch more people to the list of patrons that are helping to support us financially. Make sure you reach out to us at everythingfastpitch@gmail.com or fastpitchprep@gmail.com. Coach Don and I love talking about stuff that you're interested in. We've had a really good string of suggestions and ideas from listeners, and we really do appreciate the input and the things for us to talk about. So For Coach Don McKinley and our producer Stan Lewis, this is Coach Torrey saying thanks for listening. I'll talk to you again next week.